I was also wanted to double click on something you said about, yeah, artists kind of for sustainability feels like we have to be like on like all the time. Like there's no point for rest. Like again, it's like how the structure is built for big economy workers. And I was talking with another artist, and they were, I think there were like, yeah, two of them who I spoke to last time were both sort of in the performance arts or like the community organizing as well. And conversations came about like how the US, but also, other places with like colonial history kind of uplifts like the entrepreneur, like, oh, you can do everything on your own, like, and you can just do everything all the time. Like you don't necessarily need a break because you're just so hardworking. And so like artists, I love how you're kind of bringing back to what were artists before capitalism, before colonialism. I can't say that word. Colonialism. Yeah, like everything is so commodified right now. Like everything is about money, and the arts are about money when it shouldn't be. And how can artists from different silos and different backgrounds be in more community with each other? So I really appreciate you kind of going into that and critiquing the system that we are in now, because it's really messed up.
Yeah, I mean the strategy is really simple. You just show up at any of the in any of the meetings of communities that are presently and historically been redlined. You show up, they'll organize you. You keep showing up, maybe bring some pizza, bring your friends, listen in. You're going to see what you need to do, because you're going to see there's such a demand and a need for comms, like communications, creative, and making the work that they're doing irresistible, like how that famous quote goes. We don't even have to organize ourselves. We can go to these places. Our major thing is to organize ourselves enough to just regularly go meet each other in these spaces. And I know at the time change, because the organizers there, we're going to see you keeping on showing up, and they'll organize you. You show up listening, not offering too many opinions.
Yeah, totally. I want to look at the response you had in the survey about, I think the conversation is kind of going in that direction of what you're saying. Sorry, just lost the question. Don't become a professional artist. Contribute to resources being pulled from your communities and from low-income communities. I feel like that goes into what the conversation is about. How can the funding, maybe in a way, like, do you feel like it's like kind of like overfunding to, in reality, like certain artists in like business districts or high-end parts of town? Like where can that money go back to, like the grassroots community organizers and such?
Like right when I work with large institutions, if I ever work with them, it's like for me, it's always a hypothetical, but whenever I do have an opportunity, even talk about it, and that's probably why I'm dismissed, the first thing I say is, that's great that I get to present in front of this, whatever, but do you have a plan or a budget, if not for this time around, but next time around, where you have doubled the budget so that we can also take it to the communities that we're living in?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's, the thing is, I can ask as an individual and we'll be dismissed. If we ask as an organization or a group of people, it's harder to. But that also means that we need to stand together, and being, low income people with this kind of a work, we're not only like, it's not only is it difficult, but we're also like undercutting labor movement, because we don't see ourselves as workers. And that's where it's at. Like that's the sauce, is labor organizing. we're talking about having time to rest. The reason why we have any kind of rest is because of labor movement. And it's not easy. And that's the thing. Like, but I think that because we face capital A art, most of us, it creates this barrier and encourages behavior that makes us, you know, frankly, hostile towards working people. And that's why there's such a big suspicion, you know, because that's historically what empire has done, has forced artists to do. And that's why I'm so insistent. And it feels like I'm talking to like a blank wall, because people who want to be professional artists, like, again, I know that's 100% of their effort has to go there. Yeah. So it's really for them to imagine how they're going to make time to do anything else.
Yeah. And it's not like something that's like, oh, an hour a week, I'll do it. It's like much, much more than that.
Yeah, because it'll take over. It's all you're going to do, because creative spirit is right there. Like, because you're doing transformational work. Your work in and with your communities, you know, like there's going to be no time for museums.
Yeah. For the chunk money, grant money and stuff too.